stream just go down, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, something happened.
Oh, it looks like we're back.
Yep. And we've returned.
Sorry about
Sorry
that,
about
everybody.
that. Yep. Little miniature hiccup there. We apologize. I know that our producer had stepped away to be away from the computer for a few moments, so I will let him know that we had a small hiccup while he was gone, but I think we're okay.
Okay. Coral's going to reach a hand out to Gwilyn and just pat her on the shoulder and say, "You've got this." Bardic Inspiration. It's a d6, and because I'm Valor, you can also add it to your damage.
Thank you.
Yes. You can add it to your damage. And you can also add it to your AC against an attack as a reaction. You can do it after you find out what the attack roll is, but before you... Or no. That doesn't make any sense. You can use your reaction to roll the die and add the number rolled to your AC against that attack. It says after seeing the roll, but before knowing whether it hits or misses, but that's weird because you know your own AC. You'll know if it hits or misses.
But you may not know what your opponent's bonuses are.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so you can add it to your AC or your damage. And I think that's... Well, I'll cast Bane on the wizard or whatever he is. So I need a charisma save.
All right. That is a 15.
That makes it so nothing happens.
Okay. All right. Gwilyn. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying that's it.
And still trying to do non-lethal.
Okay.
A synthetic 20.
Ready? So that hits.
And 11 damage.
Alrighty.
And she'd swing with the other sword.
Sounds good.
That's a 14.
That hits.
And 7 damage.
Okay. Alrighty.
And she'd just turn to the others and go, "Banana." And look mildly perturbed about having to say that.
Crackers.
Yeah, assuming this good gentleman is still conscious after having been walloped by Gwilyn.
He is, very much still.
Yeah. I shall fly into the room and perch upon a shelf or some piece of furniture and look at this gentleman and say to him, "What looks... No. I always get the punchline wrong. What sounds like a parrot, but is orange? A carrot!" And I shall cast Hideous Laughter. He must make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 19.
Well, nothing happens.
Is there anything else you wish to do?
I shall be mildly perturbed as a bonus action.
Alrighty. So, the wizard stands up from his books and throws out a hand. And let's see here. Gwillin, a ray of frost is thrown at you, since you are the one who has hit him thus far.
Would she be able to use shields?
I think shield.
I never remember.
I think shield. Yeah, if it hits you, you can use shield, I believe. Does a 22 hit you?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
So yes, you can use shield.
Did you use your inspiration already?
Oh, no, I haven't. That is a good point.
It's okay. It's a weird thing that the Valor gets that you can add it to your AC and stuff.
That still actually wouldn't be able to... That wouldn't be able to do much with mine. So yeah, she'll just use shield.
Okay. What does that put your AC at?
Well, even if I get a 6, it's going to be like a 19.
Okay, so it will still hit you.
Yeah, it would still hit me even if I used that.
Okay. All right, so you are going to take 4 points of cold damage as the ray of frost hits you.
Okay.
All right. And then he poofs from in front of you and reappears at the back of the group as he misty steps behind you all. Urzok.
Is it possible to do non-lethal damage with a thorn whip? Scientists have pondered this question for decades.
I will say yes, it is, depending on where the thorn whip hits him. I can't imagine a thorn whip doing lethal damage if it wrapped around an arm or a leg, unless it cut very, very deep. So I would rule in that case you could do non-lethal.
All right, well, we'll give it a try then.
Things like inflict wounds would be a little bit harder to do non-lethally.
Well, my other option was poison spray, but it only had a range of 10 feet, but I wasn't sure if he's now teleported to the back of the group, if that puts him closer to where I'm at. I know we don't have a battle diagram, but I was just thinking in terms of theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Then noxious
probably
poison, probably not lethal. Probably, well, I guess you could knock him unconscious.
That's true.
We'll go with poison spray because it's more interesting.
Alrighty.
So, Urzok will draw his pipe, inhale deeply, and spew forth a noxious cloud into the face of this wizard who has suddenly appeared over by him. I need a Constitution saving throw from him, please.
Oh, he's not good at those. That is an 11.
Yeah, it's not enough. This is the part where I remember I put all my d12s away because I forgot poison spray does a d12.
It's okay, I've been there.
That is 7 non-lethal poison damage.
Alrighty. He kind of staggers a little bit as this cloud hits him and envelops him. Fortune. Get your fortunes told.
I'm going to just turn because he's behind me now and just swing at him with my fist. I'm not going to draw my sword.
Sounds good.
And my bonus action, I'm just going to hit him again.
Alrighty.
15 to hit.
It's
There's 7 damage.
all right. As you hit him, his eyes roll up in his head and he collapses unconscious. Now that he's dropped, you can see that there are some interesting boxes and tidbits in this room as well. It's like there's a brass-bound chest sitting on the floor, and a very highly polished pair of black leather boots.
Do you want me to tie this one up then?
Sure.
That's probably a good idea since I didn't do a great job last time.
Jeffrey drags him
Alright.
into the room.
Urzok will help.
Thank
There's
you.
also a bowl, a very decorative bowl full of delicious fresh fruit.
Does this wizard have any identifying tattoos or marks on his skin that might identify his affiliation?
He does not. Though the rest of the party, if they like, they could make a perception check.
Okay.
Actually, you know what, Urzak, you could make a perception check as well. I forget. You've been a couple places now that.
Coral sees nothing.
A 15 perception check.
Okay.
7.
Mhm.
I'm going to go take the boots.
18.
I got a 10, so probably not.
All right. Jaffer, what did you get?
15.
Okay. So everybody who got a 15 and above, notice that the bedding, which is incredibly nice, matches the same textiles that hang in Gellen's house.
That is not a good sign.
Most curious. Fortune, would you say that these bed sheets resemble Gellen's in any manner?
I haven't seen them yet, but why?
I like the yet
What is
in
the
there.
Also, is your entire wardrobe made up of things you've taken from dead people?
Not everything. Also, this one's not dead.
Yet.
Yet, indeed. First, we get information.
Are they the same linens that I would have had in my? Because I mean, I had taken the linens from the.
Yo, these
Guy
are
in the-
much nicer.
Ooh, I begin to roll them up.
Do we want to question him now or do we want to ask him later?
What was in that book?
My thoughts would be that we make sure there isn't anyone else around about to attack us after that spell went off. Question him later. Tie him up now. Question him later. Also, we're checking this one's pockets. I'll do it myself if I have to. I'm checking his pockets. I don't want any more surprises like the last time.
Make a
checking his-
perception check.
We're checking his pockets, we're gagging him, and we're tying up all of his fingers so he can't cast any spells.
Yes.
In the opposite order.
We could just cut off his hands.
No.
That'll
Very
make
practical.
tying him up harder.
I mean, we could, but then we have to heal him so he doesn't bleed out, and I don't really want to waste my spells on him.
I can
Right.
cauterize them with flame.
There
Will
goes the
do
finger.
no such thing, and a very large man has a large saber pointed at your throats with a huge plume in his hat as someone rolled a natural 20 on their stealth check to sneak up on you as you're all arguing about what to do with this man that you're in the process of tying up.
Yeah, my perception was like 13, so I didn't get.
Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and keep the same initiative, though he is going to get a first strike. And he is going to go ahead and do a little bit of a swash the buckling as he makes an attack on, let's see here.
Why must you turn everything I love against me, Tessa?
It's my job. It's my job. As he's going to go ahead and attack Fortune. So his first slash is a 21 to hit. Okay. And a slash is made across your face with 9 points of slashing damage as he readies himself for a second strike. It does an 18 hit.
Yeah, my AC is 15.
Okay, so another slash happens across as he does his flourish and holds his sword out at you. Drop your weapons now and surrender.
How much was the second one?
Another 9 points.
Question.
Answer.
Is he wearing like a metal helmet or just a hat with a big feather in
He is
it?
wearing a very large hat with a feather in it. That he appears to be very well armored and seems very rakishly attired.
What kind of armor?
He is wearing leather armor. Studded leather.
Studded leather. Studded leather means it has metal rivets in it, right?
Correct.
Heat metal.
Alrighty.
Have fun getting that off.
True.
There's no save except to drop the item, except you're wearing it. So you have to make a Constitution save, or drop the object to
Okay.
not continue taking damage, I think.
Right. That is a 22 on the con save.
Okay. So, reading through the spell. Right, takes the damage, and then I can attack it on subsequent turns. It must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object. If a creature is holding or wearing the object and takes the damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. So I
Okay.
think the con save is to not have disadvantage every time I attack it.
Okay.
That's how
So-
I'm reading that.
Alright, well, that it has succeeded, I believe, if a 22.
On that first one, yeah. So that's going to be 12 points of fire damage.
He just kind of gives you a sneer.
That was my action.
Mhm.
And bonus action healing word on Fortune. You're gonna be all right. Don't forget what Gellin gave us. And that's a d4. Okay, so you get 6 points back.
Willin.
That's my turn.
And she would rush forward and attack with her swords.
Alright.
The first one is a 12.
That does not hit.
And a 16.
That one does hit.
Seven points.
Alright. Crackers.
I look at this new individual and I say to him, "What do you do with a broken bird? You reparrot!" And I cast Hideous Laughter again.
Alright.
Wisdom saving throw.
It is a natural 20. I'm sorry.
No one ever likes my jokes.
I adore them.
I like them, but it's not helping.
Same.
Urzok involuntarily lets out a guffaw.
I shall give Urzok bardic inspiration.
And how do you inspire Urzak?
Just by being me.
Perfect. Just by being able to bask in your splendor, Urzak gains bardic inspiration. All right. The captain is going to go ahead and turn to Gwilyn and do a bit of fancy footwork of his own. The first one is a 22 to hit,
That'll hit.
and the second one is a 13 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, so you take 9 points of slashing damage as he slashes across you.
You know, I always thought that the ones with the plumes were compensating for something.
Urzak, your little pseudo-dragon companion is flashing all sorts of colors of warning at you in your mind as he's like panicking seeing this man.
This guy is basically in the midst of all of us right now. He's just kind of waded into the fray and fancy footworked his way around.
Yep.
Okay. I guess then, as I'm looking at my list of options here, let's go with Thorn Whip. Because I suspect that he will be able to pass a Constitution save. So, D&D Beyond, stop failing. There we go. Will someone remind me what I can do with Bardic Inspiration? D6 to just attack roll?
It depends on
I don't know
the
what
bard,
One,
because
you can add a d6 to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
All right, well, that's a total of 13, so I'm going to go ahead and add that d6. And I'm glad I did because I rolled a 6.
Definitely hits.
And that's a 6 again, so 6 piercing damage to him. And he is pulled. Well, actually, I'm not going to pull him toward me. That seems like a bad idea, unless it's going to put him at a disadvantage against any of our melee combatants.
He just kind of sneers as it whips across him, and
Your hat is very stupid.
my mother gave me this hat.
She was stupid to give it to you.
Fortune.
I'm going to actually draw my sword and swing at him, and then flurry of blows.
All right.
The first attack was an 11.
Does not hit.
I kind of swing past with the sword and then bring the hilt back to hit him, and then try to swing at him with my fist too. The second attack is a 17.
That one does hit.
The third attack is also a 7.
That one also hits.
There's 13 total.
Okay.
And because of my tradition, I can disengage and back up a little bit.
All right. He kind of spits some blood out after those last couple of punches. Jaffer.
Jaffer is going to pull out a little clockwork turtle, and she's going to put it onto the ground, reach down with her wand, and twist it. And as she does, like the clockwork gears going, it expands into a larger turtle. Turtle climbs up onto the wall, opens up its mouth, and shoots a force bolt at this individual.
All right.
14 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. 14 force damage, and this individual is pushed 5 feet away.
Describe your moment for me.
This sort of opens up its mouth and slams this individual into the chest, which causes a significant oof from this guy as he's just slammed onto his back. It doesn't seem to have pierced him, but it does like knock him, hit the air out of him, unconscious.
All right. Now, did you say you were specifically doing non-lethal on him? I didn't hear anybody call banana on him.
Oh, I would have, yes.
Peel this banana.
All right, so he drops to the ground unconscious. And it goes quiet for a few bits.
Well, I guess.
More rope.
Yeah.
See? Now, you questioned my getting the rope, but here we are. Again.
Was that the last of them then?
I mean, I hope so, of the ones running up here.
Did he seem to have come in from the outside or from an adjacent room?
You don't see. Oh, he seems to have come in from the outside.
Coral sticks her head out the door and looks around a little for a second.
The door on the far end of this side of the ship is open. Like he ran in from the next door room, basically.
Okay.
Inside the room that you're in, you hear a help, 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 help.
Jaffer faces her ballista, her turret against the creature.
It's a
Banana?
parrot sitting there.
That's in the captain's room or in the wizard's room that we're in?
In the wizard's room that you're in.
Has it been there the whole time?
Yeah, just been sitting there.
Are we leaving the parrot? I mean, it's a parrot.
Coral
No offense,
crackers.
crackers. It doesn't seem to have the same manner of scintillating conversation as you, though.
I would be most surprised if it did. Quiet, you simpleton.
Papa wants a cracker. Papa wants a cracker.
There's
You're
got
just being a stereotype right now.
Yeah, I'll offer it a cracker.
I offered a banana.
Very happily takes the cracker. And then sidles over and cautiously takes the banana. Eyes Cracker suspiciously like, don't you touch my banana. It's my banana. It's my cracker.
Are the bed sheets the same as the ones in the other room?
Yes, they are. There are several chests in both these rooms.
So, tie them up. Do we loot the rooms before we go downstairs? Or after? We might find useful information up here, or useful items, but we also lose time.
But if there are things that they could use against us, we should make sure that they cannot.
Agreed.
I want to see what he was writing.
That's
To see
true.
if that does know what.
I shall take a look at one of the wizard's chests.
All right. When you open it up, and it is some various clothing. It looks like a spell book, a purse containing 50 gold pieces, and a spell scroll.
Ooh, what is on the scroll? Can I read it?
It is Gust of Wind.
Exciting.
Hey, it's good for being on a ship when you have no wind in your sails.
Helpful on board ship.
Appears to be several letters in here as well.
Coral grabs all the letters. Fortune, do you still have that bag?
Yes.
Things only go in that you purposely put in, right? It's not going to fill with water.
I don't think so.
All right, we should probably put all these letters and things in there just to make sure they don't get wet.
Do you take the
Did
time
anyone
to
take the
read the
captain's
letters
hat?
first? No one has taken the captain's hat yet.
Say that again, Tessa.
Do you read any of the letters first?
I glance through them to see if they're in a language I can read and to see if there's any names or places I recognize.
Okay. All of them are in common. 3 of them are from 3 different women in 3 different locations. All of them are signed Love Mrs. Sigurd. And the 4th one is a semi-literate document requesting further supply of iron oil, quote, as per previous consignment and at the agreed on terms. And the signature is in the form of a pictograph that shows a lizard with a forked tongue extended.
It's the fantasy equivalent of per my last email.
Yes.
Hello, pink and yellow lovely. Welcome to the stream.
Yes, indeed. Welcome.
Yay.
So you can also see that there is another chest in here. And when you open it up, there is yet another 10 100 gold ingots in here. With maybe the second half of the payment, or perhaps the first half of the payment.
Okay.
Well, if you don't want to get rid of him yourselves, I mean, we could always turn those letters in. I'm fairly sure if you tell all 3 of them, that would probably take care of him right there.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out.
It's definitely an option. There's also the fact that we should probably check and make sure it's not some sort of code.
Aye. And Gwilyn will still
Let me
go
make a
through
note.
their pockets.
It is code now. That's a way better idea.
I like that.
All I've learned today from this room is I am glad that my mother didn't remarry a sailor.
Now
There's
listen,
another
we're
one.
not all that bad. Just throwing that out there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can we? That was just the wizard's chests. We haven't checked the ones in the captain's room yet.
I basically lumped them all into one, just in interest of time, because we only have a few minutes left.
We should search for the slaves.
Yes.
Agreed.
Does the person with the large plumage in his hat have any keys on him or anything to that effect?
He does. He does have a keyring on him.
I assume we tie him up. I also take his sword and I check him for weapons.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Any weapons. We're not
Right.
doing that again.
I take the feather out of his hat.
Do it.
Alrighty.
It's now in my braids.
Perfect.
I like it.
It is very big compared to your braids, but it looks amazing. Bims, your pseudo dragon, is just like starts curling up in it and like rubbing his cheek on it all excitedly.
I am the captain now.
All right. So you guys head downstairs, I'm assuming?
Yes.
As you head downstairs, you see rows and rows and rows of fabric, lumber, casks of ale and brandy. You see cages full of people. And you see a horde of weapons, all ready to be unloaded.
We get the people off this boat and we burn it.
It's a perfectly good boat.
I don't disagree with your sentiment in terms of how much I fucking hate what's down here. But I'd like to propose that we keep the boat because no one else will know that it's been captured, which means if they see the sea ghost coming, we could use it to infiltrate.
I'd keep the boat and I'd get the people out, loot the ship, and if we can manage to keep one of the two upstairs alive long enough to be questioned, that'd be great. But if you want to burn the other one, I'd be happy to sit and roast peanuts or something while we watch.
Probably the wizard, the captain, but no more, I think.
Is roasting
Sounds good to me.
peanuts some kind of euphemism?
No, not really in this case. I'd just like to watch him burn.
They both deserve to. There's no question. But we should probably look through the notes to see if there's anything in that book of his with the wizard before we decide which one knows more information. He definitely had a fancy room there.
They both had annoyingly familiar fancy rooms.
You mean the fabrics?
Aye. I don't like it. It could be stolen, but we can't rule out the possibility.
I do wonder how much everyone who did business with the people knew about the other businesses. Did the lizard folk know about working with Saltmarsh? Does he know about the people before we told them?
It's hard to say, but to be fair, I mean, it's possible that Gellen's involved, but it's also possible that there's someone who works for him that's high enough up that they're fudging the numbers.
Aye. I'm not saying
can't
we
really-
turn. Go ahead.
We can't accuse him until we know more.
No.
It's sketchy, but if I wouldn't accuse a man who just has a bad business of slavers being involved with slavers intentionally.
No, that's true.
An entirely different.
Not until we know more. Are you volunteering to do some reconnaissance then, Fortune?
I could. I wouldn't be opposed.
I mean, it'd be good to have an inside man, as it were. I think you could manage it.
I could.
I'm sorry I broke you.
It's amazing.
Phrasing.
So what is it that you all are doing with this ship? There's enough of you that you could potentially get it into port this evening.
And there's definitely no one else besides the slaves alive on the ship.
That's
Do we
it.
recognize any of the slaves? Or do they look like they're people that were captured elsewhere and dragged here?
A lot of them look like they were people that were captured elsewhere and dragged here.
Okay.
If the lot of you would like to sail the ship in, I can fly and fetch the captain of the guard and have some guards board the vessel to free the captives and take charge of our prisoners.
Yeah, and make sure that Galen isn't with them.
Oh!
Just be on the safe side.
Thank you for the follow. Crackers, if you don't mind, you should probably tell the council as well to send some people who speak different languages. I'm not sure all of these people are from our area. We might need a few different voices to get everything across.
I'll see what can be done, and I shall fly off in the direction of the constabulary.
Crackers, who of the council are you gathering aside from the captain of the guard? Is there anyone in particular on the council you are leaving out of the equation?
It is rather late. I imagine most of them probably... Did they say that they would be
They
up
knew
at this hour?
They knew you were attempting this. They were probably waiting for some sort of word. Whether or not they're all in the same place is a different story. But you imagine you could probably find them. Anders is probably at his estate. Galen is probably at his estate. Manistrad is probably in her barracks. Edda is probably at her house. You know where all of these locations are.
I shall inform them all.
Okay. All right. So you go and you grab the council and the constables, and they agree to meet you at the end of the dock. What are the rest of you doing?
Interrogating
is there anything
the...
All right. Okay. What particularly are you asking?
who their employer is.
Okay. They are not answering. Or are refusing to answer.
How many of us would it take to get the ship heading back towards town?
You could have everything into town. In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead because we are a little bit after. I do want to just wrap on one particular point. So if you don't mind, I'm going to say that you guys have gotten them into custody and they can be questioned tomorrow. And the boat has been docked at town. So I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just realizing we're a little past time. So I want to be conscientious of people who are in later time zones and my own rapidly fading awakeness. So everybody gets everyone in. The slaves are unloaded and are going to be given shelter. The council is going to discuss what was found here. They are particularly alarmed by the deals with the local lizard folk. Not sure if that is indicative of an coming uprising or not. The more important things is you are paid 400 gold for your endeavors. You have all reached level 6. Congratulations. And as a reward for the deed of your service to Saltmarsh, the Sea Ghost is given to you. Congratulations. You have a ship.
Nice.
Yes.
And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
It's a good note to end on. We got a ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, like we leveled up and we got money too, but freed some slaves. But we got a ship.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You are level 4, not 6. I had you guys in my head at 5th
That
level.
makes more sense.
Is it
Some-
for?
Okay.
For some reason, in my
100
brain,
gold
I
pieces
had
for
you
the
at
group?
level 5 instead of level 3. I'm sorry?
Is it 400 gold pieces for the group or each?
For the group. There was a hefty amount of gold on that boat as well. And you did just get a ship. So I apologize
Oh,
for
are
the
we allowed
confusion.
to keep all of the gold bars and everything that we found?
Yes. They are letting you keep what you found. They are not letting you keep the contraband, but the gold that you found is being given to you as a reward for a job well done.
And the cages? Do we get the cages too?
You want to keep them in your ship, you can.
No.
It is yours to do with as you please. Thank you everybody for watching tonight. Thank you, Loki, for coming out and playing with us. Loki is going to be a recurring guest every so often as we can get him in. So I appreciate it. We will see more of Urzak at some point. I will be chatting with Loki to get some information a little bit off camera. And we will share more of that next time. As a reminder, there will be no stream next Friday night. We will be at Rose City Comic Con. If you guys are there, please come say hi. Matthew, Heather, and I are on a panel 10:30 on Saturday on diversity and inclusivity in gaming. if you are going to be there, please come and say hello. We would love to see you and say hi. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm sorry for about the little bit of hiccups we had at the beginning. Big hugs to everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And as always, carry on, you funky little tieflings. Good night.